What's going on, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. My name is AJ.
I'm Christy.
And y'all, welcome to a Monday afternoon horror news live discussion, y'all. Thank you for joining us on a little bit of a change up in time because I'm going to tell you right now, like, I feel like for the last few days, you and I have both been off and on sick.
Sick. It's terrible.
It started for me on the night of the Game Awards.
Yes.
We had got some Dominoes, and for some reason,
he got really bad food poisoning.
Really bad damn food poisoning from it. Like bad, y'all. It was rough. So I had to deal with that. And then it's that Saturday night.
The next day.
No, that wasn't the next day.
Wasn't it?
No.
Oh.
You got sick Saturday night leading into
Sunday morning
right. When we normally do our show.
It was a plan.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was
but
bad.
so we're like, all right, let's try to do it on Monday. And so here we are on Monday, y'all.
Yay.
So for those in the live chat, thank you for joining us live on this Monday. I mean, we're kind of covering a lot of different things that have been that have dropped over the last couple weeks, really.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen the thumbnail or saw the title. So one of those things will definitely be we'll be talking about Austin Butler being Patrick Bateman. Of course, we're going to talk about the Golden Globes and horror showing up. And so in what ways horror has showed up at the Golden Globes, as well as the Critic Choice Awards.
Yep.
And then
what we hope for the Oscars, I think. Yeah, I put that on the list.
Oh, you did?
Well, not that list, but on my list.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't even see that up here on these notes. Okay, so and then I don't even talk about Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I know what you did last summer. That's what you said.
True.
For the last notes that we were talking about. But yeah, y'all, so that'll be the show. Just a couple housekeeping items, I guess. Like as always, thank you to our supporters on both YouTube memberships and Patreon. We appreciate y'all support as always. And if you don't know about those, that's just a great way to one, not only support us, but two, get access to extra content like full reactions and the ability to vote on what films or things we react to in general.
Mm-hmm.
So great way to support us that way. In terms of what's coming up next, we will have our most anticipated horror films of 2025 dropping this week. And that'll be roughly around 10 films where, the 10 films that we are most hyped for next year. I know it's going to differ from person to person, but we'll be going over the films that we're hyped for next year. And then, of course, later on after the Christmas time frame, after we get a chance to watch Nosferatu, we'll do our top 10 horror movies of 2024. Because, unfortunately, that movie comes out right at, Christmas, essentially. So we don't really have the opportunity. We have to wait till we watch that to actually do a real top 10. You know what I'm saying?
I'm excited about that one.
Oh, yeah, me too. But yeah, that's the quick housekeeping. And then with that, we can get into, I guess, kind of the first thing that's up for discussion. And that's the Austin Butler situation. So, of course, Austin Butler going to be Patrick Bateman and, how you say his dude's name? Luca Guadagnino or something like that. I'm sure I'm tearing that up. Sure. But in their version of American Psycho. So that was officially published. When was that? December 11th. So I'm pulling this from the Variety article. I mean, I guess there's a lot of different rumors of different people circulating. I guess for you, how'd you feel when you first heard that Austin Butler was going to be doing Patrick Bateman?
We had talked about him because I think if you haven't seen him in Dune 2, I loved him in Dune 2. He plays that character very well. So I feel like he obviously can play this character. But my thing was, and I think other people also said that too, is super on the nose. This.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Him, he obviously, he kind of looks like him a little bit. And obviously he can play that role. But I don't know. I was just wondering, is it too of a matchy-matchy type thing,
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, when you say matchy-matchy, you mean it, him being very similar to Christian Bale's.
Will he push enough boundaries so it's not exactly the same, a copy and paste version of this character?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. I guess that was my concern. The same as yours. It's with this, because I never read the book, so I have no idea So for me, I don't.
That's another good point. But go ahead. I'm gonna let you.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know if Christian Bale's representation of like how accurately he portrayed Patrick Bateman to the book. You know what I'm saying? So is Austin Butler gonna act like Christian Bale did, or is there a version from the book that's more different that he can tap into more? I don't know if you know more about the book, but I don't know.
I never read the
it.
book, so I'm not really sure. But I'm just wondering, like, you know, how far he'll go. I don't know. I can't see these comments on here for some reason, so I don't know if you guys are saying anything in the chat.
Oh, it's not letting you see
like it's
chat up there?
The way it's done is like it's only letting me do top chat, so I can't see. It's only gonna pick stuff that's like deemed.
Oh, okay. Top chat. I could try to pull it up on here.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so that's just my feelings about it. I know someone said, even that article you have pulled up mentioned Jacob Elordi, and I'm glad they didn't go with that because that would been another one that I feel like
an on the nose type of thing.
On the nose type of thing, yeah. But look wise, I feel like it's copy and paste for sure. Are you trying to get this?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it, but man, it's like making me log in and do a bunch of extra steps here.
Okay.
But just keep talking while I'm trying to figure this out.
But yeah, so those are my feelings about it. Also, I really wanted the guy from I know his last name is Chavez. I can't, for some reason it's not coming to me his first name, but the one that was in the recent Menendez Brothers thing on Netflix. I haven't watched that, but I know he was in Grotesquerie. And if you've never watched that show, it's crazy as heck. But his character, him playing this like warped priest in Grotesquerie, like he nails it. Like it's so good. And I feel like he would have been a good one to like maybe push those boundaries a little bit more than maybe Austin Butler could have. But yeah, okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I could try to zoom in if you can't see it that good. That's literally
that's fine. That's
the best I can do to pull up that chat.
Nicholas Chavez, thank you, Jerica. Yes, I think he would have did a good job as this character. And I know people like, oh well. I just told you, he was in Grotesquerie. He was the priest in Grotesquerie.
That guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like he just would have been another.
No, because I mean, I think he would be he would go that extra mile. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I really had anybody in mind that like I really wanted to see play the character. To me, they all would have fit the mold of like, they have the vibes of the Christian Bale. They can match the look. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, even with some of the people that you have mentioned, like, I could see the look of Christian Bale's character on them. So in my mind, I'm just going to be like, they're just going to be Christian Bale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, how do you feel about them remaking it? I know that's also a hot... I mean, they are remaking it, so it's not like us saying, oh, they shouldn't remake this. Is going to keep them from doing it. But, like, what are your thoughts on them actually remaking this movie? Like, do you feel like...
Oh, yeah. I don't really care. Like, and I think for me, it's because if I knew the book, maybe I'd feel different. If I knew that the original movie matched the book, like how closely it matched it. If it was like spot on, then I'm like, okay, maybe you don't really need to remake it. But if they left a lot of room for a different adaptation, I'm like, okay, go for it. Like, let's see what it is.
Yeah.
The remakes don't really bother me too much. We always gonna have the original movie to go back on, but to adapt this to, like, I don't know if they're going to adapt it to like a new time, you know, given that we got all these other things going on, like social media and things like that, or they're going to stick to the era that it was written for. You know, I don't know. But I'm okay with it as long as they, you know, just write it well. And I'm sure obviously I think the performances
I'm not saying he won't, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Mike mentioned someone named Finn. I'm not sure, from American Horror Story. That's your show, so I don't.
Finn? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know much about American Horror Story. I don't watch it like that. But AJ
that guy.
Oh.
He was also in that Netflix movie.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
the Don't Move or
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
Okay, I can see that. I can
Yep.
see that. Yeah.
What's his name again?
Finn
Finn Wittrock.
Whitrock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like he also got the same, like a similar look. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
yeah.
like anybody could just like you could just swap anybody that has like
The look of Christian.
they can have that slick back hair white corporate dude look and like it'll all match. But
yeah.
But like I said, I'm cool with the remake. I'm interested to see what they can do. I think Asa Butler gonna kill it, just like you said. Seeing him in Doom Part 2, like
Yeah. If y'all had, I know Dune is still my number one movie.
Oh yeah,
like
the movie's incredible
overall of the year. Like I went back and looked. I was like, well, Wicked, take it. Nope. Dune Part 2 is so freaking good.
Yeah, Doom Part 2 is fire.
Yeah, but yeah,
I think the only film that came close though for me that I like, just really like.
He loves this movie.
That Conclave.
Conclave was super good though.
Yeah,
it was.
We just
good.
watched it. What was that yesterday?
Yes, and he talked about it all day, and
like,
even
so
again
impressed.
into the night. He's like, man, that movie was so good.
I think I was just so impressed by it. I was like, wow, like,
yeah,
like, that was just a good movie. You know, especially because it's about stuff that I don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so the fact that they were able to make it interesting and keep me entertained.
Yeah,
and,
it
like,
was
engaged,
super
I'm like,
interesting.
dang, like this is incredible filmmaking. That's how I felt.
It was really good, and it has some really awesome shots. It almost reminded me of like The Handmaid's Tale sometimes, like with all that red and like the darkness. Oh, it was just so good.
It was a beautiful movie.
It was super good.
But that's our thoughts, y'all, on the Austin Butler pick for Patrick Bateman in the upcoming new adaptation of American Psycho by Luca Guadagnino. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. My bad. Let us know in the comments, y'all. How are you feeling about this casting? Do you wish it was somebody else? Do you think this will work? How do you think they will approach this new version of the film? Do you think that is there room from the book to?
I'm making it my mission, right? One of my books to read.
Yeah,
for sure, so I can know.
Is there room to actually go in and do a even more close to the book adaptation? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Let's skip to the. Okay, go ahead, Jennifer Love Hewitt after this though.
Oh, you want to go to okay. And Mike Shield in the comments said all white men are Christian Bale, just in cursive. All right, so you say you want to skip to the Jennifer Love Hewitt news. Can we get that pulled up here? Yeah, so it came out. When was this? The date's not shown on this particular.
It was a couple days ago.
It was recently though.
Yeah.
That Jennifer Love Hewitt did close the deal to return for whatever this new sequel is to I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes.
So of course she's joining Freddie Prinze Jr. as well as some brand new cast that will be in this film. So obviously a continuation.
Yeah.
For the franchise. I know a lot of people are just excited about that, just to have, it's kind of like a Scream situation, right? Like having like OG original cast members return to this updated and continuation of the franchise.
I'm gonna assume that. Oh, and Tariq Withers is in there too.
Yep,
that's the one that's gonna be in
the Him movie.
Yep. The Jordan Peele one. Well, I say Jordan Peele, but Monkey
Paw.
one. But yeah, like I'm assuming she kind of like pulled one of those moves where it's like I need the right numbers before I sign on the dotted line. Since she was like the last one that's returning, but she should get paid. Like she's a little young. She's the main face of the franchise, so I'm excited about that. It's good to see her and Freddie back for that, and Brandy supposedly. I know they haven't confirmed, but. Apparently, they were in talks with her about that. So
I mean, if it's a continuation, I feel like it makes sense.
It does make sense.
If you're gonna try to get everybody back, just get everybody back across the board.
Carla needs to be returned as well. Yes. Oh yes. And look, I don't watch 911, but our daughter does, and she's obsessed with that show. But she says she's good on it. So,
really? Okay. Yeah. All right.
I was like, oh, is that Jennifer Love Hewitt? She's like, yeah. I know she don't know that she from I Know You.
These kids don't know like the history of some of these actors and actresses from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But no, like I said, I ain't seen that show either. And has she even been in any films
films. I don't
recently
know,
besides
but
that show?
you know, she was on 911. She had that Ghost Whisperer show that was on for a long time.
Oh, okay.
Too,
Yeah.
but I thought she's been on shows. I don't know about
Not no
movies. I'm
or
not
nothing.
sure.
Yeah, maybe it's an opportunity for her to jump
Possibly
back into
if she wants to. Yeah,
the movie game with this one.
I'm interested in seeing what the plot is going to be for this one.
Yeah, because they haven't revealed.
Oh no, they're going to wrap that up. Yeah.
But the good thing is, this is a summer horror film next year, so it comes out on July 18th next year. Still untitled. No idea what the sequel's going to be called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always wondering if they're just going to call it "I Know What You Did Last Summer." Some movies do that revamp and they just use the same.
I hope they
title.
don't do that.
But hopefully they come up with something, something funny. Like I think one of the rumored titles that was floating around was like I'll never forget like what you did or something like that.
Yeah,
like, I was like that'd be actually kind of.
Oh yeah.
That's not the official title, but I thought that would be a good
right.
title.
Yeah, or like you said, I'll never forget what you did that summer or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Mike in the chat said, if it's another Ben relative killer, I'm walking out the theater.
I hope not. Yeah. I would hope that they wouldn't do that again.
They gotta come up with something.
Yeah.
They gotta come up with something different. Yeah, something different.
Ben's son? It's Ben's son.
I don't know what that good. You way more into it than I am. I don't know what that was. I just remember the general story.
I was like, what? Well, back then I wasn't like that, but rewatching it, I'm like, what?
Right. But yeah, anything else that you want to add?
Oh yeah, no, I'm just excited for that.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all. What did I say? July.
Like said that killed me.
What? Oh.
Jerica said, "My name is Jane, Ben's daughter." Yep.
Yeah, see, I don't remember the movie like that.
That's
See, y'all rewatched it multiple times. I have not rewatched this movie multiple times. I've watched it maybe one time.
I'll never forget that.
But let us know down in the comments, y'all. Are you excited for the sequel? Especially now you got even more original cast returning, from Freddie Prinze Jr. to Jennifer Love Hewitt. Let us know how you feeling about this, and let us know what your recommended title for this sequel should be. Because I'm sure there's a lot more clever ones that they can come up with for this sequel.
Yeah.
Well, now you want to jump into like the award stuff. You want to start with the Golden Globes or Critics' Choice?
We can do Golden Globes.
Okay, y'all. So we're gonna jump into talking about how horror showed up for the Golden Globes, and of course we got an article on our website that Christy wrote called "Horror Shows Up for the Golden Globes." Go to inloveofhorror.com. You want to read that article where she just talked about all the different horror films, performances that showed up for the Golden Globes. We'll walk through that here, just movie by movie, starting with Night Bitch. You got Amy Adams, who was nominated for Best Performance by Female Actor in a Motion Picture. Of course, they do the categories musical or comedy because they just pick a category.
Yeah.
And I think historically they always pick like comedies or horror movies to fall into.
Yeah.
Real dumb, but
that one is actually more of a comedy.
Oh, it is more of a comedy?
Okay. So Night Bitch is about this woman who thinks she's turning into a dog. So it's kind of a comedy.
Okay, it's more heavy. So at least with this one, it might make a little more sense. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into like the other ones, like Heretic and stuff. It's like that don't make no sense.
No.
But not you haven't seen this movie either, right? I know I haven't seen
because it's not playing anywhere. It's a very limited theater release.
Wow, it's that limited. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't playing in here at all.
Of course, we're jumping to now Heretic. You got Hugh Grant, who was nominated for Best Performance by a Male Actor in a Motion Picture,
which is great.
Yeah,
he had a great performance.
Man, this dude was dope in this film. Like you talking about, like I think the best word I could use is like captivating. Like like he was like every word you kind of like he was drawing you in. Like okay, like is he for real? Like is he actually especially when he's like piecing stuff together. Yeah, I ain't gonna try to get into spoilers. I know people might not have seen this film yet.
Yeah,
but the way he was just like lining things up and just like had this like Mr. Rogers but sinister feel to him. Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like it was weird, but it was super dope. Definitely check out Heretic if y'all haven't seen that film yet. Is it still playing in theaters?
I think so. And I think in our Discord we kind of talked about this a little bit too. And Jerica had even said like I think they just don't know where else to put that category, which I kind of wanted to talk about on the back end when it comes to the Oscars. Like there are no categories really made for horror because they leave horror movies out of these award seasons. But musical comedy is usually where it's going to be book end into.
Yeah, because they don't historically have not taken horror films seriously, even though there's some incredible, if you want to say cinema, level horror films where they should definitely be put on the same level as like dramas and other things.
Right, exactly. Mike said Heretic makes no damn sense for any of those categories. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
But it is really good that he got in there for best performance, which is awesome. What's up, Chris? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, Chris said, "What's up, Chad? New here. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Appreciate you checking out the live news discussion."
And yeah, Mike, I can see Heretic being put into the drama. But
yeah,
because of the horror element, they're not going to put it in there.
Yeah, it could definitely fit.
Yeah.
And then we got Alien Romulus for cinematic and box office achievement.
Because they did numbers.
Yeah, they did great. I mean, that movie was excellent. Definitely brought back the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the hype for like the Alien franchise. Now people are like, oh man, I want more Alien. You know what I'm saying? So I'm cool with that. I'm on board with that. And then we get into the substance. Now this is going to be a big trend across, all the award shows, right? The substance is a big, in terms of horror, right? It's a big front runner for a lot of nominations. So for Golden Globes, they got 5 different nominations. So it got nominated for Best Motion Picture, of course, in that musical or comedy category. Best Director, director was Coralie Farge. She also wrote the screenplay, so best screenplay. You got Demi Moore for best performance by a female actor in a motion picture, and Margaret, is it Qualley, for best performance by a female actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. So a lot of nominations there. I think you and I both agree that like it's a good movie, but we're definitely not as big on it as a lot of people in the community are.
No.
And like
but I will say that this is still like great because if you look at the history of any awards, the Academy, Oscars, Golden Globes or whatever, like these films, especially a film like The Substance, like you take into account to the things that happen in this movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild
to have this many nominations, which I'm surprised it didn't get any nominations for makeup. Or effects or anything, which is like, I know it's not like the primary, but there's a lot of good. That's the stuff I liked about the movie, honestly.
Right.
So I'm actually surprised they didn't get any awards for that, but nominations for that. But even still, like, it's still good that horror is being recognized in this manner. So I'm not mad about it, even though I don't like this movie.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. I mean, I still acknowledge that it's a great film in the sense of like, how it's made.
Yeah,
it's well acted.
Said that in our
all
review.
That stuff.
Like, it's technically well
excellent
executed, and the performances are pretty decent. I'm a little. I don't know if it's because of the film, but Margaret, like looking at the other nominees and other people who I've seen in other films, I'm interested to see why she was nominated for best
supporting.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I feel like in the essence of this film, this was Demi Moore's movie, like to me.
Well, I guess I think because the movie's so good, that naturally elevates performances in it.
Probably.
So they're like, oh, like who did a good supporting job? Well, Margaret did. Acting alongside Demi Moore. So that's probably just how they roll with that one. But yeah, I mean, The Substance is going to be a big one, and you want to talk about Oscars later. We'll get into that, but I'm sure that's going to be one that, if anything has the potential to show up, it's either going to be that or Nosferatu or something. Okay, jumping down to the last.
I count Night Country as horror.
I think it definitely had a very heavy horror vibe,
does.
Especially in getting from the beginning to the middle of the season. It was definitely very horror. Couple things in the chat here. Mike mentioned when we talked about Alien Romulus. He said, so is the winner automatically who had the biggest box office numbers? I actually don't know what that category fully entails. I got to go look up the rules of that category, but I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he said, I think Margaret should have been nominated in the best lead as well as Demi. The roles were so balanced.
Interesting.
Because they were kind of like sharing time in the film.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But she spends a lot of time not even like doing much but dancing.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of dancing and showing ass and shit like that. Like,
You
I
are
don't know.
crazy.
But anyway,
No, she did good.
Yeah, no. I think all the performances in that movie were really good. Even the I can't remember the dude's name now.
Quaid.
the boss dude. Yeah,
Dennis Quaid.
Yep.
I don't like him.
So we got True Detective Night Country was nominated for Best Television Limited Series. Jodie Foster was nominated for Best Performance by Female Actor in a Limited Series. And how do you say her last name? Kaylee Reese. Yeah, Kaylee Reese, Best Performance by Female Actor in a Supporting Role on television. I thought that was interesting. Was she a supporting role in that show?
No.
I don't. Yeah.
I
feel like they just did that because we gotta put her up there somehow.
Yeah, they didn't want to put them in the same category.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like that. It's cool.
Yeah,
At least she got a nomination.
Super weird with that one. But you and I both like Night Country.
I love that series.
I thought that was a great season of True Detective. I know people are fucking tripping online about it. I don't. As someone who's seen every season of True Detective, I never understood why people were tripping so bad.
Yeah.
About this season, I thought it was great. So I thought it's cool that they got these nominations, these 3 nominations.
I thought so too. I'm writing I wrote an article for Horror Movie Blog, and I listed my top 10 series of the year, horror series of the year, and Night Country is definitely on that list. It comes out tomorrow, so make sure I go to horrormovieblog.com and check out my article.
Yeah, check out her article, y'all. She be right. She be killing it, y'all. She be killing the writing game.
Hey, Obsessed with Horror.
What's going on? Welcome.
Jerica said, agree. I love Night Country. It was so good.
Yeah, Night Country was super good. I don't. People just like to complain about dumb stuff online. But anyway, that is the Golden Globes. Any other comments you want to have for Golden Globes? I feel like it's a decent range of nominations from different horror films. There's definitely been a lot of good ones this year from performances and things like that. So let us know in the comments, y'all. How are y'all feeling about how horror showed up for the Golden Globes? Do you like some of these nominations? Do you feel like something was left out? Let us know how you're feeling in the comments. But now we're going to switch gears to another award show, and this one's going to be the Critics' Choice Awards. Both of these awards take place in January. I think, it, January 5th for?
I think so.
Golden Globes, and you got the Critics' Choice coming on January 12th. So, of course, horror showed up for the Critics' Choice Awards as well. So we'll go through the breakdown of that. And I got it up on a little notepad here. So I broke it up by films, just kind of like how Chrissy did on that article on our website. We don't have an article on our website for Critics' Choice Awards, but I got a little notepad I'm reading from for which films and how many nominations they got at Critics' Choice. So the first film, which I thought was super dope, was Abigail. So Abigail got 1 nomination, and it was Alicia Ware got a nomination for Best Young Actor/Actress for her portrayal of Abigail. I thought that was dope. She was great. I thought she was a lot of fun. Too. You could tell she was having a lot of fun playing this, ballerina vampire. Yeah. This little girl vampire. Well,
a ballerina vampire.
Yeah. Vampire on my ass. I don't know why I like that part. That's hilarious. Not true. But I thought Abigail was a really fun movie, so I think it's cool that they got some love from the standpoint.
Yeah, I agree with
that. She did great. I didn't know if he wanted to include Beetlejuice. That's like a horror comedy,
I guess,
type of thing.
If you want to call it that.
But Beetlejuice did get 1 nomination for Best Hair and Makeup, and so that those nominations went to Christine Blundell, Lisa Warner, and Neil Scanlon. So yeah, I thought makeup, hair and makeup was good. I thought in that movie, I don't think there was nothing wrong with that. Then we got Heretic with 1 nomination. You already know what that is. Best Actor, Hugh Grant. I think we're gonna see we're gonna see that probably for every award show as well because he did such a great job. But then we get Nosferatu.
You are so hyped about this movie.
I can't wait to watch this film. I'm telling you right now. We got a week, about a week before we can finally watch Nosferatu. I'm like so hyped. I'm almost nervous that my expectations is getting out of control. Cause you get so hyped about something, you're like, it might disappoint you. You know what I'm saying?
I listened to the soundtrack today.
Oh really?
Because we're trying to figure out what the best score from a horror movie was. So I started going through, and it's really good.
Let me check the chat real quick too, because I got it up on a different screen. Let's see. Yeah, Mike said good for the makeup team because that was the only good thing about that movie for Beetlejuice. Yeah. I mean, like, it wasn't that bad. I mean,
it was funny because I was
Soul Train.
When we both went into this movie, I was like, "Oh, AJ's probably not gonna like this," and I was like, "I'm gonna love it" because I was so excited for this movie, and I was like, "Dang, this ain't nothing like I was." I think I
liked it more than you did.
Yeah,
I was just kind of like, I think, but see, here's why though. I think I went in there not caring.
Oh,
I was
right,
like,
yeah. See,
this movie gonna be whatever.
Too much,
and then I was like, oh, this movie actually surprised me because my expectations were lower for it. So like the Soul Train part was coming.
Well, the Soul Train part was
that
good.
was hard. They just wasted the woman. I forgot her name.
It was a pointless storyline.
Yeah, it was. I was like,
they could have took that all the way out.
What were they thinking with that? But going back to Critics' Choice Awards, y'all, Nosferatu with 4 nominations. So it got nominated for best cinematography. That's Jaron Blaschke. We got best production design, Craig Lathrop. Best costume design, Linda Muir. And best hair and makeup, who nominations are Tracy Loader, Suzanne Stokes Mutin, and David White. Mutton. Sorry. And David White. So 4 nominations. That makes sense. I'm sure the cinematography. Like, I think from all the reviews that we did see, like, people were saying it was a beautiful movie. I don't expect less from like a Robert Eggers movie. For sure.
Yeah.
We got Mike in the chat saying shout out to us for hosting the screening.
I know, I'm so excited about that.
That was cool. Like, cause we usually attend the same was like a marketing team. We usually go to their screenings for different films. And I remember we had asked them like, hey y'all, is there one for Nosferatu? We asked them a while ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, we're not.
No, there's no one. There's not one screening.
And then randomly one day we get an email.
Oh, by the way,
guess what? We're doing one. Oh snap! So that's gonna be super dope. Speaking of Nosferatu 2, though, some theaters in the country, they're showing the 35mm print. And there is one location that's not like super close, but it's close enough to where we're gonna make the trek probably.
It's in Portland.
Yeah, it's in Portland.
Some ways away.
This is the kind of film that I think is worth watching in 35mm because we watched Cuckoo.
We did,
in 35mm,
and I loved it.
And that shit was cool. Like, it fit that vibe. So if that movie was that good in that format, like, I can't imagine how Nosferatu would feel. Jerica said, same with me. I had no expectation for Beetlejuice, and then I was like, oh, better than I expected. See, like, that's the key, I think, to liking shit. Like, you gotta just go in there and be like, oh, this shit gonna suck, and be like, oh, actually, it wasn't that bad. But that takes the fun out of it, you know. I think it takes the fun out of like getting hyped about stuff. I think that's part of the build up. It's like, oh man, I can't wait.
Right.
You know, like this isn't horror related, but you know, they just put out the teaser for the new Superman movie from James Gunn. And now people like going crazy because the trailer drops Thursday. People going insane because they're hinting at the music. You know, the poster came out. Like, now's that build up. Like, oh shit, like we're gonna see. But the next film, of course, is The Substance. Now, The Substance showed up big at the Critics' Choice Awards with 7 nominations.
One of which is makeup and effects, which is what I was saying.
Yes. So the seven nominations for The Substance at the Critics' Choice Awards are Best Picture, Best Actress, Demi Moore, Best Supporting Actress, Margaret Qualley, Best Director, Coralie Farge, Best Original Screenplay, Coralie Farge, Best Hair and Makeup, Stephanie Gillen, is that Frederic or Federique Arguello, and Pierre Olivier Person, and then Best Visual Effects, Brian Jones, Shervin Shafagi, and Pierre. I feel like I'm tearing these names up.
It's okay.
Pierre Olivier
Person
and Jean Miel. There's a lot of people involved with that best visual effects, but the effects were really good in that film. But yeah, 7 nominations. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And I feel like, they all the movies deserving. I feel like of all of those. There isn't really one that I'm like, why they get nominated for that. The movie was, I feel like, good on all those fronts. Even the original screenplay, because I had issues with like certain elements of The Substance don't make sense to me. I don't even know if I can talk about that from a spoiler standpoint, where I'm like, why would you do this? Like, that makes no sense because it ain't you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shit don't make no sense to me. Like that bogged my mind like the whole film. I'm like, like once you learn how it works pretty early in the film, you're like, well, why the fuck would you do it?
Yeah,
that makes no sense. But anyway, other than that, I thought the concept was dope. Like that whole idea of the sub, like that's super dope. So, yeah, these are all great nominations. But yeah, that's all the horror films that showed up at the Critics' Choice. A good amount, definitely more than the Golden Globes.
Yes, it's progress.
Yeah, it's definitely progress, and we'll see. January 12th, y'all.
Yeah,
Sunday.
Now I know that there's like, there's an idea. Now it's hasn't been like disproven or proven, but there's an idea that if these films have been nominated for Critics' Choice Awards, Golden Globes, then likely they'll be nominated for Oscars. But that isn't always true. It's kind of like, well, also these are different voting bodies, right? Like these are not the same people. They have different tastes, interests, whatever, or what they deem as, like you said earlier, cinema, right?
It's not cinema.
So do you foresee, looking at what we've seen come out of these two particular awards, voting bodies, think that we'll see any of these films show up for the Oscars?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say no.
I do. Nosferatu potentially.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I
because,
was actually thinking not. If there was one to come out of any of these one, I would have said The Substance versus Nosferatu.
Well, I was gonna say Substance too. I actually was gonna say both of them.
Oh, you think both? Okay.
But the only reason I say Nosferatu is for two reasons. I feel like Robert Eggers has like, history of just being like kind of like almost like a visionary type of filmmaker, right? So I feel like naturally that lends towards like critics being like, ooh, like, you know what I'm saying? And then also I know we've had numerous adaptations of Nosferatu, but nonetheless it is an adaptation of the Dracula story remake of the 1920s film or whatever. So I feel like that has like film history attached to it. So I feel like there's that potential. The Substance, just because it's getting a lot of, getting a lot of love at the other award shows. So I feel like it might show up for that reason too.
Yeah.
And then potentially Heretic because of Hugh Grant.
Potentially, yeah. But kind of like what Mike was saying, it's not very horror for The Substance. I think that is true for The Substance. Like, that's why it's getting 7+ nominations. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not.
And they're kind of like, it's not like the I'm scared type of horror.
And they're kind of focusing in on the social commentary element that is, threaded into the narrative versus, like, because I mentioned Get Out in my article when I talked about the Golden Globes. Like, that's been like the most recent horror film that's been nominated and won anything from the Academy or whatever because of that social commentary piece. Mm-hmm. Like, if this movie wasn't about racism, that movie probably wouldn't have been, nominated for anything if it was more of a horror film and not really like about racism. Whereas in this case, I think that's what we're seeing with The Substance, right? Like, yeah, it has these horror elements, but it's mostly about this particular topic and theme.
Speaking of, so now you said Get Out, I feel like Substance would be up for play for best original screenplay then.
Ooh, yeah.
More than likely.
I can see that. Yeah.
And just reading some of the things we got in chat here. We got KB saying, "What's up, fam?"
Hey, KB.
What's going on, KB? He said, but we got him with the thumbnail, of course, when we talked earlier about Austin Butler playing Patrick Bateman. Yeah, that's happening. Yeah, that's happening. Jerica said, I think Nosferatu and The Substance will show up at the Oscars. I don't know if Heretic will get in.
Yeah, I can kind of see that too, especially since it's only gotten one nomination across both governing bodies versus like these other movies who's got multiple nominations.
It's consistent though. It's for Hugh Grant's performance.
That's
so it might
true.
be enough to be like,
okay, well, I guess
I feel like that movie isn't as like, it's not also super heavy horror either. I think it's scarier than The Substance, but I still think it's not like in your face.
But
horror.
I also think you're kind of like thinking of this from the horror perspective, and you're not thinking about all the other films that are going to be up for.
I mean, yeah, that's true. There's a lot. There's a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it don't matter, and because I think she also mentioned, that was Mike. who mentioned Substance will get an Oscar nom for something because it's not very horror in the same way. And then Mike said Nosferatu will get visual noms, but probably not like Best Picture or actor, actress.
But
and I was going to say I'm cool with that anyway because Doom Part 2 is the one that need to win the Best Picture.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
But yeah, go ahead.
I think Wicked is going to win Best Picture.
You think so?
Yes.
Wow.
I do think so.
Really? You really think that?
I think it's gonna be.
Look, that's not me saying that I actually like the movie.
I'm just saying.
I'm not even a musical person.
It's gonna be super close, but I think Wicked's gonna win that. But yeah, Nosferatu, I agree with you on that, Mike. I think it'll definitely get like we seen with the Critics' Choice Awards, right? Like cinematography or something like that. Like
you never know though. It could like sneak up on you, get a Best Picture out of nowhere and be like,
Nosferatu's not getting a Best Picture
but
nomination.
I'm saying like, man, that would be revolutionary. But I guess I think I don't know because the critics when they responded to it, it was very highly regarded from like the critic standpoint.
Oh, that's a good idea, Jerica. We will do that if the Oscars have any horror nominations. We will definitely
do a live watch party. That would be cool. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Mike said Wicked versus Dune is wild as two front runners. That is like a crazy like matchup. Like,
well, I also can see like, well, we haven't watched all of the like the Golden Globe movies yet. Like I know I want to watch like Challengers and stuff like that, but
yeah,
I think Conclave is gonna be up there somewhere, even if it's not in like the top 5. It's definitely gotta be in the top 10. But I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Critics' Choice Awards. There's a lot of films for Best Picture that we haven't seen, like a ton of them. Yeah. Like A Complete Unknown,
well, I think
the Timothy
Oscars
Chalamet
is
one.
a much shorter list than
CCA.
It's I think it's like only 5 films.
But there's a lot of films up there that we just have not seen.
Anora, I've been wanting to watch Anora. Yeah. That Emilia Perez is the one that's got what's her name in there?
Is that the Angelina Jolie
yeah,
one?
I think so. Nickel Boys, I definitely want to watch that too. Listen, if Believer got snubbed from the offer, I don't believe any horror will.
Wait, which one?
Mike, he said if Believer got snubbed from the Oscars.
Yeah, you lost it.
Okay, Mike.
You lost it with that.
You lost it. Yeah, I can see it's gonna be between Dune and Wicked, I'm sure. Like Sing Sing, Nickel Boys, those are all, I hate to make it about race, but let's be real. These movies are heavily like black influenced and led, so I don't think those two are gonna win. Conclave, I think, is up close. I haven't seen the Brutalist yet, but honestly,
I want to see that one.
I definitely think it's gonna be between Wicked and Dune.
Yeah, I think so. I'll be surprised if Dune didn't take it because Dune was just like, well, I don't know.
It's an epic.
It is like an epic movie, but you never know. It is like a part 2. I don't know if people might be funny about that, but
true.
I will say I like Conclave so much that I wouldn't mind if that one got
good.
something too. Like even if it Ralph Fiennes.
Yes.
One for like, man.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
He was so good.
Like, damn.
I was telling AJ he's gonna be in 28 years later too.
Yeah, you did say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yep.
Like, I know we're talking about horror movies, but if y'all ain't seen Conclave, like, man, that was a good time.
He really loved that movie,
I was just so impressed. Like, how could you take something like this and just make it so interesting? I don't know anything about like, Catholicism and you know, the Cardinals and the Conclave. I don't know nothing about that. And it was interesting.
KB said I plan to rewatch the 10 titles from Christie's top 10. Thanks. Yes, definitely go check that out. That's also on Horror Movie Blog. Shout out to Horror Movie Blog for giving me a home to write my thoughts.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings 3 Return of the King won Best Picture, so it's possible for sequels to win. Yeah,
that's true.
It's very true.
I mean, that's Return of the King, though. I mean, that movie is
Jerica said, I saw Conclave on Monday, and it was me and a million senior citizens.
That's actually really funny.
Oh, my God.
That doesn't seem like somebody that they would go see this Conclave.
That is hilarious.
That's super funny.
What did you think, Jerica?
Yeah, Jerica,
did you like it?
Did you like that?
I thought it was good. But we're going to see. I think it's exciting that horror has a possibility to even show up at the Oscars. And I know people say, oh, it's not, you shouldn't care about it. But I think I do.
What? Like them being nominated.
Yeah.
You got to care.
I care. I love that.
Because, I mean, too, think about, I just thought about this right now. I think if more horror nominations show up in these, like, you know, especially like an Oscars Academy Award level show. I feel like that encourages people to also explore that horror avenue more. Be like, okay, like it's being taken serious. I might actually go dip my toe into the horror pool and make something incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we had said one of our lives, like sometime this year, I was like, what if Christopher Nolan made like a horror movie or something?
Oh,
you know? Like in the sense of like someone at that level was like, I'm gonna make a horror film. Like, I feel like by it being taken serious at an Academy Award level, I feel like that opens that door for people to be like, oh, maybe I should like make a horror film or something like that.
Yeah.
Go and, you know, write a screenplay or go work with somebody dope from horror, and then you get this crazy pool of talent that maybe doesn't necessarily work in horror, and they make something just insane.
Yeah.
Like, that would be dope.
Also, I want to note that as far as like CCA goes, Hugh Grant is up against Ralph Fiennes in Conclave. And for that reason alone, I haven't seen The Brutalist, or
We haven't seen A Complete Unknown either. Timothy Chalamet. But
I don't think he's gonna win that.
Oh, okay.
Dang, and Coleman Domingo. Have y'all ever seen Coleman Domingo act? That man can daggone act.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't see him winning that. And then Demi
probably
Moore
win.
is up against Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Carla Gascon from Amelia Perez. Marine Jean-Baptiste, Heart's Truth. I want to see that movie.
Oh, we picked the wrong movie. It's Maria that Angelina Jolie is.
Oh, she's in Maria.
Amelia
Okay.
Perez, yeah.
Well, who's in Amelia? Oh, I know. The girl from Lioness. What's her name?
Which one?
From Lioness.
The main one?
Yes.
Zoe
Saldana is in that movie. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And Honora. Everybody loved that movie. Mickey Madison. She's up against her too. Now, question, because I think I saw someone say this too. Like with this category, I think between Demi Moore and Marianne Jean-Baptiste, they're the older women in this category. Also, they're both veterans when it comes to acting. If Demi Moore were to win this award, is it more like a, oh, here you go, because you've been doing this for so long, versus
True,
like, were you that talented stacked up against these other women?
That's kind of what happened with the Angela Bassett, Jamie Lee Curtis situation a little bit when it came to that Academy Awards. That's a very good point. Or it's almost like it's almost like they disguising under like, well, you've been acting for a long time.
Yeah.
You've been really good. We'll give you this.
We'll give you this award.
I know it'd be feeling like that. I don't know if that's really how it is, but it do be feeling that way. So I don't know. Like, that's a good point though.
Yeah.
I am
interesting that old girl, what's her name? From oh wait, go scroll down. Oh, they gave Ariana Grande Best Supporting Actress. And Cynthia Erivo Wicked for Best Actress.
I mean, it makes sense, right? She the main character in Wicked.
I guess it's about her. Yeah.
It's about her. And then, I mean, after that performance of Defying Gravity, I mean, she definitely need to be at the at the top. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But I'm saying she's singing it, but she's still like acting it while doing it. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't know. After seeing this list, I could kind of see Demi winning Best Actress for CCA. Whoops, sorry.
Uh-oh.
Or at least like, I think I could see her winning it. Honestly.
You said
Best Actress.
I can't.
Unless they give it to Wicked just because it's Wicked.
I haven't seen those other movies, so I can't decide. I haven't seen them.
I don't know. I think she could win it, y'all.
I was looking at the chat. Let's see. Well, I forgot where we left off in the chat. Oh, Jerica mentioned that she did like.
Okay.
Conclave, talking about Ralph. He will get the nomination for sure, and probably Best Picture and Director and Screenplay nomination. KB said that they were going to watch Conclave last night, but the movie Thelma outvoted.
Oh. Well, definitely go back and watch it. It's good.
Let's see. And then Mike said Percy Jackson needs to go back to making more. Yeah, that's true. That's fact.
Yes.
What's actually the last movie that he did though?
I don't know.
Because I know he did that. He did one movie that I know was not received very good. It was that Big Machines one or whatever.
Big Machines.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. It was like big cities they were like moving or something like that.
I
forgot what it was called.
I've never seen that one.
And Mike said Coleman Domingo be getting snubbed
all
way
the
too
time.
many times.
I think this is his year though. I think this is his year. If he don't get an actual award, I would be surprised. But that's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else you wanted to add for the Critics' Choice Awards?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Well, I mean, shoot, that really about wraps up the live stream then. I mean, we talked about everything that we wanted to. I don't know if there's anything new that came out.
Oh, I don't
today.
know.
I'm
gonna be honest. I haven't really been on my phone like that today.
I didn't really get the chance to check like that either. I can go just pull up just to make sure and see if anything popped up today.
Don't see nothing.
I don't think there's anything. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, 28 years later has become the second most watched horror trailer ever.
What's the first one?
Oh, let's see. That's kind of wild, actually.
It is wild.
But a lot of people were talking about that movie, I will say.
Oh, It Chapter 2.
Oh, it got 96 million views. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, it was talking about the opening night.
Yeah.
Okay. So it got 96 million views. Yeah, because it Chapter 1, that was a big movie.
It was.
And like when Chapter 2 was coming, like
Mike, oh my God. Really Mike said werewolves got snubbed at the awards.
Did Mike like werewolves?
I don't know if he even seen it. Have you seen it?
Have you seen werewolves, Mike? Did you actually like it, or are you just playing?
A lot of people loved it.
Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't really understand how.
He ain't seen it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I wait for streaming for that one. Yeah, I don't know. You might like it. I don't know. You might like it. You never know.
Mike might like it. He like bad movies.
Yeah, he might like it. You never know. But yeah, it wasn't for us though.
Yeah. I think it's funny because me and Mike, or you two, we like movies that they're the same movies that are not horror movies. Like we agree on other movies outside of the genre.
Oh, right. Well, I think it also comes down to, like, I guess, like how forgiving you are to certain things too.
Yeah.
Like, if you can like overlook certain things or whatever.
I can't.
Be. Yeah. It's hard for me to do that.
Yeah.
Especially like if I'm watching your horror movie and you put like what I'm gonna call the stock, like B movie soundtrack in it, like it's gonna be hard for me to forgive that because I hate the way it sounds. And especially when I go to when we go to like the festivals and like the real budget movies play. Yeah, see, Mike in the chat said I'd be too forgiving to horror. So I think it's where it comes from. Where you just like, I think Mike wants it to do good so bad, right? That he's just like,
oh, okay.
Hey, well, it wasn't that bad,
I see
y'all.
the intention.
Like, it wasn't that bad. Nah, Mike, it was that bad. I'm sorry, bro. It was that bad. But yeah, y'all. I mean that pretty much wraps up the stream. I don't think there's nothing else to really add. We got a chance to talk about, of course, Austin Butler playing Patrick Bateman. We talked about Jennifer Love Hewitt coming back with Freddie Prinze Jr. to whatever the sequel is for I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, talked about horror showing up for the Golden Globes and the Critics' Choice once the Oscar nominations come out. We'll have to do another like conversation like this to see what horror films show up there.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed that there'll be some actually really good nominations beyond just where they can typically throw them at, like with the screenplays and cinematography, visual effects, stuff like that. But hey, look, thank y'all so much. If you joined us live, thank you so much for tuning in live. If you're watching the replay or listening over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for that support. Like I said at the top of the show, we will have our most anticipated horror films of 2025 dropping this week. That's gonna be really dope. Check that out. And then of course our top 10 will come later this month after we get a chance to watch Nosferatu to see where that's gonna fall. Hey, look, and it's gonna be the top 10, but you gotta keep it. I guess you gotta keep it real, right? But just in case it might not be in the top 10.
Right. Happy Monday, KB. Thanks for stopping by.
But yeah, hey, happy Monday, KB. Shout out to Mike. Thanks for joining us on the live
Thanks,
news.
Jerica.
Yep. Oh yeah, the most anticipated is gonna be really good.
Thanks, Chris, for stopping by as well.
Oh yeah, Chris Sims. Yep, new to the chat. But yeah, look forward to that most anticipated because I'm also curious to see what other people's most anticipated are because there's a decent slate of films, but when we were going over them, there was nothing that really jumped out. There was like, oh,
can't wait to see the
biggest one.
Yeah,
but it was still like, oh yeah, I do want to see that, but it wasn't like nothing that was like we had like Nosferatu. for this year, that was like,
Mike was
man.
like, we've been talking about Nosferatu all year. We've been talking about
this
for
That's true.
a long time.
We haven't talked about it all year. Like, literally can't wait to see this film. But again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Hit that subscribe button so you make sure you tuned in for most anticipated and the top 10. We got Patreon, YouTube memberships. You want to support us, another great option. And depending on when you're watching this video, you might still be able to grab some of the holiday merch that's about to go away. After holidays wrap up, like that's it. You won't be able to buy that ever again. So
that's
you got limited merch. You got limited edition merch.
Limited edition.
Like, when we real big and we got the OG fans, you know what I'm saying? Be like, oh, look, yeah, I got the OG merch. You know what I'm saying? But hey, look, we appreciate y'all so much. We see you in the next one. We out. Peace. I gotta find it on. I got my stream deck hooked up, y'all.